Welcome to the Living Stones podcast at Anchorpoint, and I am joined today by Mark, Executive Director here at Anchorpoint. Mark, can you share a little bit about yourself, introduce yourself some?
Sure. So I'm Mark Heinbachel, and I have served at Anchorpoint Counseling Ministry since 2017. I was previously the Development Director with responsibilities for fundraising, and then I became the Executive Director in 2022. My background is in social work, so the types of work we do here at Anchorpoint are very fulfilling to me and really resonate with the types of work I was pursuing when I got my social work degree.
Wonderful. Yes. So tell me about those things that we are doing at Anchorpoint that resonate for you and why they matter.
Sure. Well, when I joined the organization, what really drew me in was the commitment to families. I'm a father, and I know how hard it can be sometimes, and the fact that this organization is all about families and supporting strong families is really meaningful to me. I also was really drawn into the counseling aspect. You know, everybody struggles with mental health issues at some point in their lives, whether it's grief, anxiety, depression, and I really wanted to be a part of the solution to helping people who are struggling. And then finally, I became a social worker because of experiences I had in the church growing up, going on mission trips, and just being able to serve people from a faith-based angle. And the fact that this is an organization that is faith-based, that was really appealing to me.
Yeah. So as Executive Director, what do you find yourself focusing on most?
I feel like I wear many hats over the course of a day or even over the course of an hour. It's wide ranging from fundraising to a lot of relationship building, trying to connect with other organizations and partners and supporters in the community. So my days can be fairly variable, whether I'm in the office or in the community meeting with people. Also, I'm responsible for all of your typical leadership responsibilities, things like the vision, setting the vision, policies, procedures, HR, finances. So it keeps my mind going. There's always something to pay attention to or to figure out, lots of problem solving.
Yep. Yes. You spoke a little bit about being in the community. In what ways is Anchorpoint in the community now? What are we doing?
Yeah, I've always been passionate about creating connections. I think that we as an individual organization can only do so much, and we're only knowledgeable and skilled in so many areas as well. And so we need to rely on partnerships in the community to make sure that we're addressing other needs as well, and that we are being collaborative too in addressing those needs. What I've seen over the years is that a lot of times mental health needs are affected by or affect other needs. For example, basic needs can be a precipitator of mental health needs. But then also if you have mental health needs, it can sometimes lead to basic need, food insecurity, housing insecurity.
Yeah.
And so we need to be looking at what other resources are available in the community and how can we come alongside those resources and augment what they're doing.
Absolutely.
So those are the types of partnerships I've tried to pursue since I've been here at Anchorpoint. So we work with organizations like North Hills Community Outreach. We've partnered with Hearth, which provides services to women who are vulnerable. They're single moms and they need a place to stay. We've explored partnerships and have worked in the past with the Salvation Army in Bellevue, which is an under-resourced community in this area. And the theme in all of this is just, again, coming alongside another organization, filling a gap where they are not currently providing services and making sure that the person's whole needs are being met.
Yeah. When you think of Anchorpoint today, is there a part of it, programming or otherwise, that you're particularly proud of?
I think what brings me the most pride is the efforts that we've made to address financial barriers to care. Since I've started here, we launched a program called the Ray of Hope Initiative, and it's designed to serve youth. What we found is that sometimes kids really need mental health care, but their families can't afford it. Either the family is uninsured or the family's insurance doesn't cover this service to the level that they need in order to support it on an ongoing basis. So we were able to create this program where we raise money to develop a pool of funds that are available for families who need care for their child and are worried that they can't afford it. And it always gives me so much joy to be able to say yes to families who are turned away from care elsewhere. That ability to say yes is just very fulfilling to me.
Absolutely.
Make sure that continues to happen. And then building off of the Ray of Hope initiative, we launched a couple of years ago an initiative called Serving Our Seniors, which is a similar program, but it's designed for older adults, ages 65 plus. Oftentimes those adults are on Medicare, but Medicare doesn't always cover everything. There's still out-of-pocket costs involved. And if you think about an older adult having to take care of their housing and their food and their prescriptions and their medical expenses and not having all the time a sustainable income coming in from work, we're able to fill that gap and meet that need. Again, it just fills me with joy to be able to say yes in those situations.
Absolutely. Sounds like accessibility is really important. Are there other ways that you can think of that Anchorpoint works toward accessibility for mental health services?
Yeah. When I think about accessibility, it's more than just cost and financial. It's about transportation. Some of the things we've done in the past around transportation is taking services into under-resourced communities. Sometimes that's been in the form of direct counseling services. Other times it's something as simple as a workshop or a group that takes place in an under-resourced community. And by bringing services to people who need them, they don't then have to worry about how do I get to Anchorpoint. So that's part of accessibility. We've added telehealth services, which again breaks down that transportation barrier for people who are worried about getting to care. You can now participate virtually, which can be really helpful. Access is also about time, and it's about making services available at different times. And so that's always been important to the organization, is having some availability during high traffic times when people really need the services the most. So recently, we've moved to a new facility, and with this new facility, it is fully ADA accessible. And so access is also about physical limitations and being able to navigate a space with mobility issues, or we have Braille on the door signs. We're now embarking on a campaign to raise funds to support automatic entry doors. So all of those things. And I've also been approached in the past by staff when we get a call from somebody who may need translation services or needs a sign language interpreter for a group. And my instinct in all of those situations is, yes, how do we make this happen? So it's just very rewarding to be able to provide services to everybody and not have to turn people away.
A piece of accessibility that I think about is related to how many specializations the counselors at Anchorpoint have. Just a variety of populations that can be served and a variety of mental health issues that can be treated. And that's wonderful.
That's another very good point. And we've tried to be very intentional about the types of providers that we've brought on, making sure that they're bringing on unique knowledge, skills, experiences to help build a team that is, I guess, multi-layered. It's not just everybody is providing the same type of therapeutic approach. There's a variety of approaches that are being used from a variety of different perspectives. And even a social worker versus a professional counselor, and having that diversity.
And speaking of building a team, how would you say you go about building positive culture and a good work environment?
I've always wanted to have a positive culture when I've been employed previously and as an entry-level employee or as I've worked my way up. That's always been important to me, is to have a place where I feel cared about and where I feel heard
Yeah.
and where my opinions and ideas really matter.
Mhm.
And so I've tried to instill that atmosphere here by being a good listener, by creating opportunities for staff to provide feedback, whether it's through surveys or one-on-one meetings, having regular staff meetings. But it goes beyond just having those forums. You really need to make sure that you're acting on what you're hearing too. It's one thing to say that I hear you, but if your actions aren't reflecting that I hear you, then it only goes so far. In addition, shortly after I became executive director, we created cultural pillars here. And that was in an effort to ensure that there was a common understanding among all of the staff. What are the expectations of one another, and how do we engage with one another? And it's also not just about how we're acting toward one another, but also giving grace so that if there's something that's misinterpreted, that an expectation is that the other party is going to come to me and tell me about it and give me the opportunity to fix it.
Yeah.
Because that can be a missing piece sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. Really good communication.
Yeah. I think the final thing I would add around building a strong, healthy culture is investing in the team. I think it's really important to provide opportunities for team members to grow, and that can be through trainings or through advancement opportunities. But I think when those investments are coming through, the staff sees that I am important, I'm valued, and I have a future here because I can continue to advance as a professional.
Yeah. Yep. And I think staff does feel that here.
I hope so.
Yep. What goals would you say you have for Anchorpoint in the next few years, or changes you foresee happening?
My goals are around growth right now. There's a lot of opportunities now that we're in a new facility and have more space available to us that we can grow our team. We've had a lot of success growing our team internally in recent years. We've always had strong internship programs dating back probably 3 decades. But in the past few years, we added residency programs as well to ensure that professionals who are entering the field have a pathway to pursue licensure and attain their licensure. And that's been a strong growth mechanism for us, that grow from within mentality. And I see that continuing. I love the opportunities that are in front of us with partnerships. I think external partners who are providing services that we're not providing, those types of partnerships are really valuable. And I'd love to see how we can leverage those relationships to make our community better, stronger, healthier, and our families stronger, better, healthier as well. And then also partnering with organizations like Livingstone's Counseling, where there is a synergy of missions and we can be stronger together because we have resources that we can share, we have knowledge we can share. And by bringing all of that together, it benefits everybody. So I'm excited about pursuing those opportunities. I'm also excited about the neighbors that are surrounding our new facility. We have Ascension Collaborative System, which provides really great services to seniors, older adults, different living arrangements. And we know that older adults, it's a very large population in Pittsburgh. And I think that's an area that's been underaddressed historically in the mental health space, is the needs of older adults specifically around grief, loneliness, all of the changes that are happening in their lives through life transitions, through changes to their bodies. So I'm excited to see what's possible by coming alongside Ascension and looking at what can we do together to make the services they're providing to seniors right now even better. In the same way, LaRoche University is located right down the street from us. A lot of college students, as well as a lot of staff members there. And what can we do together to meet those needs? We're already partnering with LaRoche through their Masters of Clinical Mental Health program. We're able to support interns, and we're talking with them as well as working in the classroom with students and providing education that way, because we have so many skilled and experienced providers here and so much knowledge that we can share. And I'm excited to see where that relationship heads in the future.
Yeah,
too.
absolutely. Yeah. So for the listener who is hearing all of this, all the direction that Anchorpoint is going, everything Anchorpoint is already doing, all the collaboration, for the listener who's excited about that and feels like that touches their heart, how can they get involved or how can they support?
There are a lot of different ways to get involved. What's been really awesome to see during my time here at Anchorpoint is how I think God is really working through the different relationships we've developed. Things that we've talked about that we've needed in the past, and then somebody comes forward and says, hey, I have this skill, or I know how to do this, or I have this resource available to me. Can you use it? And it always seems to come at the right time. So when I think about ways to get involved, there are consistent ways that that can happen. I'll share those in a moment, but there are also those ways that it just comes through conversation. Somebody says, hey, this cause really means a lot to me. It resonates with me. And we just start talking, and suddenly we discover a fit that we would have never known existed otherwise. But beyond that, there are opportunities to volunteer. A few times a year, we have volunteers come in to help with mailings, to help with our special events. We are a charitable nonprofit, and philanthropic support ensures that we can continue to sustain and grow our mission. And so we're always looking for partners in that. So whether you have financial resources to give, whether you have connections, you can help open doors for the organization to different businesses and organizations, whether you just want to help and you have the time available to give, we can find a role for you. Beyond those couple of opportunities, we are kind of in a unique position too, because of the types of services we provide. They can benefit anybody. It doesn't matter what your socioeconomic level is. And so everybody out there knows somebody, or probably knows somebody who is struggling with mental health. And being an advocate for this mission and sending referrals our way can also be really helpful, both to the person you're referring and to the organization. We know how many people in our community go without care because they're afraid, because they don't know where to turn. And you can be that person to help open the door.
Bridge that gap. Well, as we're closing, I'm curious what words you would have to say to the listener who might be struggling with mental health and is hearing about compassionate and skilled counselors. What might you want to say to them?
That mental health care is for everybody. I think there's a misnomer out there that mental health care is only for people who are, I don't know, you see in the movies or shows, people who just act erratically, and that's not true. Mental health care is truly for everybody. We all struggle. We all go through moments of our lives that are hard. And it's really important to have somebody in your corner. And a mental health care professional is akin to a medical doctor. If you fell and you broke your ankle, you would turn to a doctor for care. And in the same way, if your thought processes are broken, if you're dealing with really difficult emotions and you feel stuck, there are professionals out there who can help you through that. And so I would strongly encourage that anybody who is struggling and hesitant to take that next step, do it. There's nothing to be worried about, nothing to be afraid of. You'll be entering a safe space. You'll be heard. Everything you share will be kept in that space. And it's very confidential. It's protected by a lot of different policies and laws. The helpers are here to help. Use them.
Wonderful. Yes. Well, thank you for your time today. Thank you for your service in the community and all that
Thank you
you're doing.
for having me, and thank you for all that you do as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And thank you for joining us.